Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Keith's Kitchen and Outdoors video. Today we're going to be picking some wild blackberries behind us, and then we're going to make a blackberry serrano hot sauce tonight. And we're going to do that. We're at my aunt's farm, so we're going to pick some wild blackberries, maybe a quart or so, make some hot sauce tonight. So let's get into it. All right, so we just finished up about dark picking blackberries, and they're wild blackberries here on my aunt's farm, my aunt and uncle's farm. So we are headed back to the house. We're going to make some fresh blackberry serrano hot sauce. Serrano peppers are coming from my garden, blackberries coming from here on the farm. And then should be, maybe add a banana pepper in there or two, something like that, if I don't have enough serranos. And should be good. Made a test batch last night, messed up on the seasoning. I added a little too much peppercorn, so should be good now that I know the right ratio. And we're gonna make a bigger batch tonight. So wish us luck. See how it comes out. Got me a bowl. My pruners, my serrano pepper plants are loaded. I have to weed eat tomorrow, especially over by my cucumbers. We're going to pick some off of here, big long ones that are good and ready to go. And then we're going to go inside and get our sauce going. So let's do that. All right, so as we can see here, we got a good little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 serranos. We picked them out of our garden. Probably just going to use these 4 or 5. These 4 were not quite as big as I thought they were once I got them inside. And that's fine, we'll chop those up, put them in deviled eggs or something. They'll be good somewhere else. But we're probably only going to use 4 or 5, depending on what they are. Cut them in half and throw them in our skillet. So we'll do that in a minute, but first, let's show the blackberries. Got just shy of a quart, probably about half quart of blackberries here. Fresh from the garden, or fresh from the pasture, wild blackberries. Everyone can see that is 1 teaspoon. How little peppercorns we're actually going to use. That is just 2, 4, 6, that's 7 peppercorns. We're just going to throw them in a pan just like that. I spilled a few in there, you can see, but not much. This is the same teaspoon. It's going to be just about a 1/4 teaspoon or so of mustard seed. Okay, so what we're going to do is turn this to a medium to high heat, and we're just going to toast these up. The medium was not enough, so I went ahead and turned it up to between medium and high. I'm actually going to turn it up a little more, mostly because it takes a minute for a cast iron to get hot. Once it gets hot though, it's very easy to keep that temperature, so we'll turn it right back down. I can tell it's working because my mustard seeds are starting to pop around in there. They're turning a little bit darker color, and then you can start to smell them toast a little bit, especially the black peppercorn. Probably going to pull it off in about 25 or 30 seconds. So a lot of people really don't like this, but I am just going to, this is from last night when I did a test run on this sauce. and it's the same seasonings. It's not gonna hurt anything. Normally I'd clean it out, but it's not gonna hurt nothing. So do a little bit, probably a teaspoon of garlic and pepper, seasoning salt. Do a little bit of paprika. About like that. Do a little bit of onion powder, about like that. We're gonna do 2 of these tablespoons, a little bit bigger than a tablespoon, of evaporated cane sugar. We're gonna take our toasted mustard seeds and peppercorns, put them in this. Once you have those in there, we're gonna take, again, this is just the same stuff from last night, take and pour it into our grinder and grind away. Maybe. Now that we got everything ground up good, make sure your peppercorns are good and ground up because you don't want chunks of peppercorn. We're going to pour it into here. Got all of my peppers cut in half. I chopped the top off, cut them directly in half, and then we're going to put them directly into our cast iron pan. One thing I didn't mention is always wash your peppers. I don't care if you grow them yourself. It's just a good idea to wash them. I don't use any pesticides, and I still wash mine. You don't know what's been crawling around at their home. Wash your peppers, people. Gonna add about a good amount, about that much, maybe a little more of your, I'm using avocado oil. Use whatever oil you like. All right, got them in there. Throwing in 3 cloves of garlic, crushed, and just gonna sear them up. Almost forgot a very important step, and that is to chop at least a half an onion. I did a 3/4 of an onion. You see they got starting to get a nice good sear on them. Really all we're doing here is just baking these. You can bake them in the oven and do this too. I just like doing it in the cast iron. Yeah, I see that. I don't care when I'm doing this stuff if a little bit of skin from the onion gets in there, because as soon as you start doing this and moving them around in here, it's going to come off, and you just take your tongs and pick them right out. Take and just boop, and boop, and bring those right out. About the time these start getting pretty aromatic is when you want to add your blackberries. So I'm going to take my blackberries, put them in this saucepan over medium heat. We used about half quart, maybe a little more. These are pretty much just done. Oh, good grief, that's a spice. You can tell they got some spice to them. Onions could have had a little longer. I just almost forgot to put them in, so they went in a little late. I just killed the heat on them. And I'm just gonna let them sit here until they, just pretty much until they quit crackling. A little bit of garlic, it's a little done. Don't worry about it, not a big deal. Another thing is, I have a problem with only one of my burners likes to light. So what I'm going to do is I light it. I take a rolled up coffee filter. Boom. Now this one's done. Best thing to do is to have a bit of water laying around. I just take mine and bloop, right in the sink. And then I can take and kill this again. Now what we're going to do is put these on medium-high heat, because we need these to get done. Make sure you keep stirring these around. You don't want nothing to get super, super burnt. A little crispy edge is not going to hurt nothing. I need to get me something there to put stuff on, so I don't have to keep cleaning my stovetop every time. And something to keep in mind, especially with wild berries, is they're going to be really watery, so you're going to get a lot of juices in these. That's okay. It's actually going to help loosen the sauce up where it's not so thick. So the longer you cook these, the more they're going to simmer, and then they're going to release their water and juices. I like to just get them just about to this point, and then I can start adding everything into our mixer here. So I'm going to add in the onion, garlic, and peppers first. just take, instead of trying to pick up this whole cast iron, I'll just take my tongs and drop them right in, because then I can just give this a stir. I'm actually going to turn the heat down here to a low, because I've got them to where I want them. I don't want to burn them or scorch them down. Right here. You could even take, drop one, and put these into your blackberries after they're cooked. Separate. See, that's why I go right over top of this. If one falls in, it's not a big deal. Okay, so I've taken Heinz white vinegar, 1/2 of a cup, and I'm probably just gonna go ahead and add the rest of that too. We'll see how much that is. And I'm taking that cold, putting it right into my pan, because it does a couple things. It cools the blackberries back down a little bit, and it also helps deglaze your pan. Now this is a non-stick ceramic pan, so it's not got ceramic coating on it, so it's not going to stick much anyway. But that's definitely a big help if you don't have one of these. Then we're going to take, it helps cool it down, which is good because this glass is pretty cool, and so you don't want to ever add something that's super boiling hot to something that's cold. And we're just going to take and pour these right in. Come on now. Voila. One step is to not forget your seasonings. I waited till the end. Because the blackberries in this case produce so much liquid, I'm not actually going to add any water, but normally I would take some bottled water, or if you have well water, that works great too. Some bottled water, pour just a little bit right in the top, to help loosen up that, and then we can always do that later, but you don't want to do that too much and have too much of a liquid sauce. You want a little bit of volume to your sauce. You got it plugged in. Boom. Locked on. And we're going to start on low. Blend it like that. Slowly work our way up. Perfect. Now we will unlock this. That is steam rising up. Oh, that smells amazing. Take a look down in there. We're going to give it a taste test. Let's take our spoon. It's a little thicker than I'd like still, but that's not going to hurt us from trying it. And there's still some pretty good chunks in there, so we can take and blend it a little more. That's not going to keep us from trying it though. Here we go. Wow. That's so good, y'all. So good. Got a nice kick on the end. The blackberry flavor is so strong. That's what I really wanted out of this. I didn't want Serrano with a kick of blackberry. I wanted mainly blackberry, kick of Serrano at the end. Honestly, wouldn't have hurt to add another couple Serranos because it's not as spicy as you'd want it to be. But you also got to remember it's going to get spicier the longer it sits. So that is fantastic. I am going to add a touch more water or vinegar. I'm not decided yet. Man, I need to wash this spoon up and try that again. That's delicious. All right, here we go for round 2. This time I'm going to try to get a little more volume, not just too much dip in it, kind of scoop it. That's fantastic. Wow, that's so good. Man, that's delicious. So one thing that you're going to have with wild blackberries especially is they're going to have a lot of seeds, so it's not going to be like you're buying preserves and it's going to be super smooth sauce. I like that. I'm okay with that. I like a little bit of volume to mine. Like I said, I don't want it to be super liquidy or super smooth. To me, that's almost in a puree or liquid, which there's some liquid hot sauces that are okay. I like a little volume in mine. I want to be able to pour it on my pork or my quesadillas or whatever I'm eating, my tacos, and actually taste some of that flavor and structure to it. So I'm okay with that. If you don't like to have that volume and you want yours super smooth, I have two bigger than this, but take one of these and just push it through it. Just take it, put it over a bowl or a saucepan, pour a little bit in there, make sure you push it through. It'll work great. You're gonna notice it gets clogged. After a little while, it's gonna get clogged. Take it, run some water through it, go dump it in the trash can and start again. It's better if you use a bigger one. It takes longer to do that. So that's one way to prevent that. That's one way to do that if you don't like a good chunky or structure. You don't like a lot of structure to your hot sauce. I do. There is a little too much structure to this. There's some big chunks and pieces in there. I'm gonna blend it a little more and we'll be good to go. Again, I'm gonna add either a little more water or vinegar, probably water. I think I've decided water. I'm gonna add about a quarter cup of water. So what I went to do, I went to the dollar store. It was like 10 minutes before they closed, and I went to the dollar store. They didn't have a kitchen funnel that I could find, so I got an automotive funnel. So we're gonna wash this thing up and use this. It should work fine. All right, I'm not sure what the image looks like on there, but what y'all can see, this is what we got here. Just an old hot sauce bottle. We'll take and pour this into. So what was happening there is I poured it in and created a vacuum by pouring too fast, so it was just barely dripping through because there wasn't any drainage there. And then I take and I can just, right there, it's gonna be too much. So I just lifted it up, created a little bit of air, and it's gonna be too much. So I'm gonna take this, hold it over top of our, just do it on camera here. You're learning with me because just like that. So now I can take, let's go with this, drop it down into there. I'm going to take a rag or a paper towel. Just use this rag right here. Clean the side of that up good. You don't want a lot to be around the little grooves. And take your bottle lid and on it goes. This is still warm, so I'm gonna have to let this cool and then throw it in the refrigerator. I recommend, 100% recommend, that if you're gonna make hot sauce, either keep it in the refrigerator or test the pH level so you know it's gonna be good. If you don't test the pH level, 100% keep it in the refrigerator, as well as it's only going to last you 2 to 3 weeks. Just remember that, and it could last longer than that if your pH level is high. If you don't test it with tester strips or a meter, then just plan on using it within 2 to 3 weeks. And here we go. We got another hot sauce bottle. I'm almost out of this one, so I just went ahead and emptied it. Still not going to be enough space. So there's 2 of those bottles that it filled completely. Also keep in mind that, especially if you let it set at all, the first bottle you pour is going to be more liquidy. The second one is going to be a little more chunky, got a little more grief. Got a little more volume to it, a little more structure, and then the last one's always going to be even more structure to it. So we got 2 bottles, the same size, and a mason jar that's about half full I don't even know how big this mason jar is, but that's about how much it'll make. These jars, let's see here, 5 ounces. These are 5 ounces each. So here's 10 ounces, and probably about another 8 or 10 ounces. Nah, probably about another 5 ounces there. So this will make about 15 ounces if you use my exact recipe, and nobody's going to get exactly how I did it right because I didn't really measure everything. But I measured everything that I could. I'm not really just a measure kind of guy. I kind of just throw things until it works. So none of my recipes are ever exactly the same because it keeps it interesting, and I just like to cook that way. Only thing I really try to keep the same at times when I'm cooking steak. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope you try it. If you do, leave it down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you get notified when I put out new content. We make 2-ish to 3 videos a week. We're trying to stay around that 2 to 4 day mark that I try to come out with another video. Really looking forward to some stuff we got planned. So stay tuned. Don't forget to turn on notifications so that you don't miss another video.